The ANC keeps intensifying BEE, pushing even harsher racial targets every year, and yet the policy itself is starting to collapse under its own weight. Despite these harsher laws and record high racial targets, fewer and fewer companies are complying, and every year fewer empowerment deals are happening. BEE is producing less and less empowerment, and now the policy has finally reached the point where it is actively self-destructing. BEE legislation has never been harder, harsher, and more prevalent in this country than it is today. Ironically, the further South Africa moves away from apartheid, the more aggressive BEE legislation, supposedly meant to address past injustices. Yet, while law after law and amendment after amendment is passed to tighten the grip of BEE and employment equity over both the public and the private sector in this country, the latest report from the BEE Commission, which pertains to the 2023 and 2024 financial year, actually indicates that BEE deal flow has slowed down significantly over the past few years in South Africa. This means the number and value of major black economic empowerment transactions have declined sharply. Where the 2000s and early 2010s produced a steady stream of headline-making empowerment deals, today far fewer companies are entering into large equity transactions or ownership restructuring aimed at boosting black shareholding. The very metric by which BEE claims success, actual empowerment through ownership transactions, is declining, exposing a widening gap between BEE's stated objectives and the real-world outcome of the policy. But how did this happen despite the growing number of laws the ANC passes every single year to tighten BEE's grip on the economy? Stay tuned, because in today's video we are going to highlight how, when it comes to BEE, more often means less. Black economic empowerment has been the central pillar of South Africa's government policy for more than 23 years. According to the state's own definition, its purpose is to advance economic transformation and enhance the economic participation of black people in South Africa's economy. At its core, BEE is built on the assumption that the economic disparities between population groups stem from historical injustices, and that these imbalances must be corrected through targeted preferential treatment measures, including institutional discrimination against those deemed to have benefited from the past. In practice, however, the pursuit of equality under BEE is measured almost entirely through demographic targets, judging each sector by how closely its workforce mirrors the size of the white population. Supporters of expanding BEE often point to the stark gap in unemployment rates. White unemployment remains far lower than that of black and coloured South Africans, a trend highlighted in a 2024 Gauteng City Region Observatory report showing a 45% unemployment rate among black South Africans in the province compared to just 12% among whites. This disparity persists and is even increasing despite more than 2 decades of increasingly aggressive anti-white BEE laws. Yet, these demographic targets ignore one crucial reality. When white South Africans cannot find work due to restrictive BEE legislation, they frequently turn to entrepreneurship and self-employment. And in doing so, they drive a disproportionate share of economic growth. A fact almost never acknowledged in mainstream debates is that the majority of South Africa's successful entrepreneurs are white, even though white people make up less than 10% of the population. According to a 2017 Telkom Future Maker survey, 68% of the country's successful startups are white-owned. 58% of these startups white male-owned, despite white males only making up about 4% of the population. And more than half of these businesses were not BEE compliant at the time. These small enterprises are essential engines of job creation and poverty alleviation. But instead of fostering an environment where they can thrive, Government policy continues to stifle their growth, worsening the very unemployment and poverty crisis it claims it addresses. And just a few months ago, the Government of National Unity passed the most restrictive and oppressive BEE law yet. The new rules having come into effect with the latest BEE Amendment Act on the 1st of September of 2025, these rules legally compel businesses to meet newly imposed racial employment targets, targets far higher than anything previously enforced. Across sectors, designated groups, black-collared and Indian South Africans must now make up as much as 95.9% of skilled technicians, professionals and senior managers, and 91.7% of top management. In fact, this extraordinary figure of 95.9% exceeds even the designated group's combined share of the national population, with white South Africans still making up more than 8%. This makes it clear that the goal is not proportional representation, but the complete removal of white people from the labour market. And yet, despite the government's attempt to tighten racial targets, the data clearly shows that compliance is falling at a rapid pace. This is because economic stagnation, policy uncertainty, and constant revisions to BEE rules make it increasingly impossible for firms to actually invest in long-term transformation or to conclude ownership deals. Furthermore, the administrative burden and cost of meeting complex codes outweigh the benefits, especially for smaller and medium enterprises. On top of this, overlapping requirements under BEE codes, employment equity laws, and sector charters often actually create regulatory confusion rather than clarity, prompting many companies to delay or even completely re-evaluate compliance strategies altogether. But perhaps by far the biggest reason why BEE compliance is faltering and deals are decreasing is that BEE has actually done so much damage to the economy that the economic power necessary to implement BEE in the first place has been destroyed altogether. By prioritizing racial quotas over productivity, skills and investment confidence, BEE has contributed to capital flight, reduced entrepreneurship, and slowed economic growth. As businesses scale down, close or relocate, there is simply less capital available to fund empowerment transactions, skills development programs, or even equity transfers. BEE has ended up undermining the wealth-creating engine it depends on. A shrinking economy cannot sustain an ever-expanding system of racial regulation. And as South Africa's productive capacity erodes every year, compliance becomes not just undesirable, but increasingly impossible for most firms. And so, now BEE is ultimately in the process of self-destruction. In a recent video, we highlighted how black people in this country have actually been impoverished by BEE. Check out the report by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now. And do consider supporting the work that we do here at the Willem Petzer Group by becoming a paid member. Only with your help can we produce this content to change the hearts and minds of people in videos such as this. Simply follow the easy steps on the banner underneath me. Goodbye and God bless.